I'll go ahead and start then. All right, so my name is Vanessa Logan. I'm the general manager at the Holiday Inn Express here in Worthington, Minnesota. And just a little bit about me. I've been with our current company for about 6 years, and I absolutely love the hospitality industry. There's so much pride involved with helping people enjoy their time away from home as much as possible. So I would just like for each of you to think about a time where you were on a trip and needed to stay in a hotel while I kind of talk about the different areas here. Basically, the employees of that hotel help set the atmosphere when it comes to any kind of trip you're taking. You know, whether it's a sporting event and you have games the next day, maybe a vacation or even a family event. It's never a positive thing, but we see a lot of people stay because of funerals. So, you know, the employees at your hotel have the opportunity to either make your trip a great one or possibly not so great. So then there are so many different departments and positions within a hotel that have the opportunity for many types of people to come together to make our guests feel at home. But first, I'd like to talk a little bit about the hospitality industry. Hotels are just one section of that, but there are 5 main categories. So the first one would be tourism management. Basically, tourism is just kind of a general category when you're looking at the short-term movement of people to destinations outside of the places where they would normally live and work, and their activities during each stay at those places. So it includes movement for all purposes when you think about it. So tourism management is the profession of having provided positive and successful experiences for such travelers and for the businesses that cater to them. The second one would be hotel management. This would be the category that I fall in and have the most experience in. Hotel management is kind of a mix-up of all the different skills, you know, marketing, human resource development, financials, keeping up on those books, interpersonal skills, customer service, and hotels are actually a major employment generator in the hospitality industry. So working in the area of hotel management involves basically ensuring that all operations, including the accommodation, the actual sleeping part, food, drink, and all the other services run smoothly. And then the third one would be event management. So event management would be setting all of the things that are required from the conception to the actual follow through of any type of event. So a lot of these include seminars, conferences, trade shows, retreats. You typically see weddings, sometimes different anniversaries, birthday parties, that sort of thing. And then the fourth one would be convention management. So convention management, it seems like that is one of the fastest growing parts of the tourism industry. Specifically events that are specialized for categories. For example, we had a Minnesota Bison Association convention here in March. Basically, a convention planner is responsible for some of the most significant details of a convention. So, you know, things like getting the location down, having all of the event planning when it comes to the budgets as well as marketing. You know, you're the person printing out the brochures and handing them out and bringing people in for these events. And then the fifth one would be resort management. Now, I personally haven't been to a resort, especially over this last year, but resort management is kind of its own special category where they keep everybody on site. So, you know, they're basically a hotel. However, they're also doing all of the other things with the restaurant and food services. They also are doing daily activities, you know, planning events for people to do while they're with you. So that kind of gives them a special place in their own category. Excuse me. So now I specialize in the hotel management section, and I basically have done all the positions within those category there. And so I'd like to talk a minute about the different positions within hotel management. So there's kind of 5 main positions. However, depending on the size of the property, some of these are split up into different ones. But you're always going to have your front desk employees, your maintenance employees, housekeeping employees, the general manager or hotel manager, depending on your position. And then typically you'll see some sort of accounting or bookkeeper. Now, some properties that are larger will have like a sales manager or a marketing manager. With a property my size, I actually have 64 rooms here. So those both sales and marketing fall under the general manager with me. So first, a little bit about the front desk employees. They're responsible for kind of a broad range of things when it comes to the different aspects of customer service. So that would include greeting guests, helping them get checked in, collecting payments, answering questions. This would also be people calling in to make reservations. And then the most important part for front desk with safety and security would be they are also the people that are managing guest key cards. So that's very important. And then we would have the maintenance department. So when it comes to maintenance, of course, they're doing the upkeep of all sorts of areas. So, you know, they mainly focus on fixing things. However, they have also done tons of different areas, broad categories, plumbing, electrical work. We just recently finished a renovation, so we were doing all sorts of drywall work and painting. So our maintenance department graciously helps out with that. And then they also help on things when it comes to guest requests. So maybe if somebody is expecting the air conditioner to work just a little quicker, well, maybe our maintenance guy has a little trick in helping that get along. And then housekeeping, which would be where my background consists, would be housekeeping. So basically the housekeepers are performing cleaning duties out in front of the house. They're also in the back of the house, you know, the laundry area, the employee areas. And then most importantly, of course, the guest rooms. So housekeeping kind of has to consistently offer professional, friendly, and engaging service. And then they also ensure that the department standards are followed. So we're a Holiday Inn Express. However, we do have a corporate company that would be IHG. They actually set specific standards as to how we clean things as well as how we maintain things. So housekeeping is kind of like our first defense in order to make sure that we're maintaining and cleaning things appropriately. And then we would have my position. So I would be the general manager here. And this is generally the position with the most responsibility. Ultimately, the general manager is responsible for all aspects of maintaining the hotel and managing. So you'll take responsibility for monitoring and reporting on performance. You're making strategic changes, stepping in and supervising in case somebody is sick, performing various tasks around the hotel. I will say a lot of people assume that it's an office job. It is not. Many a times I have spent my day helping out with laundry, making beds. I have been right there with the maintenance engineer as we're trying to get an air conditioner to work on a sold out night. So there are lots and lots of different areas that fall under the general manager. And then of course, you know, things like scheduling. Our front desk is open 24 hours a day. So we have somebody on shift at all times. And, you know, when you're looking at scheduling, a schedule is kind of like a giant puzzle. You pull one piece out of the puzzle and it's going to fall apart. So you have to keep up with that. And then some hotels, as discussed earlier, will have a sales or marketing manager. I am actually that here. So I'm also keeping an eye on our website, making sure that the content in all of our website is updated and accurate with the things that we are actually doing. The virus and our current pandemic has changed a lot and how important it is to update that as soon as something changes. You know, you don't want somebody to go on the website and hear, oh, yep, they have housekeeping service every day, and then come in and realize that it is only every 5 days right now. So keeping that up to date so that you can be as honest with your guests as possible. And then our last position or category of positions there would be accounting or bookkeeping. So we have a lovely bookkeeper that is actually not on site and we send everything to, but The bookkeeping accounting area is going to oversee any staff within that, of course. And their responsibilities are generally making sure that they're properly monitoring what our income is, as well as revenue, expenditures. They're kind of the person that say, hey, did we really need to spend that much on that? They're the person that also is ensuring that our bills are paid. You know, we have people coming to stay here. It's important to make sure that the lights are on, and that our taxes are paid properly and on time. The other thing that's one of the most important ones when you have a hotel full of employees is they're the person that does our paychecks. So they send those out and make sure that everybody gets paid on time, as well as keeps track of if somebody has vacation time coming up to expire or anything like that. They're the person that's on top of that. So that's kind of the basics of the hospitality industry. And then now that you have the basics, I kind of wanted to give you guys the opportunity to do something a little fun. Here, we like to make sure that we're taking all of the small steps to ensure that our guests know that we care as much as possible. And we like to make them feel special with small things, such as folding our towels in a fun way. So I'm going to have you guys split up there and come up with a fun way to arrange some towels that we may then steal and use at our property. So I do have a picture here. You can kind of see in this picture, we have one of our washcloths folded up, fan folded on the top there. And it's just kind of a neat way to show a little extra appreciation and how excited we are to have you guys staying. So go ahead and split up there and let me know if we need a little bit more time. I believe I sent one of each towel for each group. And just kind of a fun little 10-minute do what we can. You know, the hospitality industry is kind of one of those that gives opportunity for so many different types of people to come together. You know, there's so many different departments and things involved that it's very easy for somebody to come in and find something that they really enjoy doing because we have so many options. Okay, so I just got the first question there. What do hotel managers earn per year and how do you move up in the company? So I actually have a lot of experience in that area. I was a housekeeper at a Holiday Inn Express in high school and slowly started working my way up to housekeeping manager. And then eventually into hotel general manager after I had the opportunity to cover maternity leave for our current general manager. So my best advice when it comes to that and moving up would be to show up, do what is asked of you. For the most part, hospitality is kind of a day by day. You know, you have general expectations of what your job duties are, but when you're dealing with people, there are kind of always things that will come about and you never know which category they fall under. So being able to work on the fly is a very, very big part of the hospitality industry. Now, when it comes to how much they earn per year, it's kind of a broad category. So depending on where your hotel is located, as well as how many rooms and employees you have, kind of makes a huge difference. You see anywhere from $30,000 a year up to $140,000 a year, depending on the size of the property and then those employees as discussed. What's the favorite way to fold towels? You know, I have to say I fold my towels at home the same way I do at the hotel. So generally we do thirds and then halves depending on the towel. So the hand towels go in thirds and then it goes in half. Bath towels goes in thirds, half, and then thirds again. So we kind of like to fold whatever way we can fit the most on a shelf. What's the weirdest thing that's happened at work? Well, I could probably write a book at this point. Let's see. School appropriate weirdest thing that's happened at work. We've had many a times where we've had to ask somebody to leave the property, most of the time for being disorderly. Beyond that, the odd things are usually more of paperwork errors. People will write things down wrong, and then in turn it messes up with the reservation system. Let's see, a few of the other things. I have done many weddings, and most of the time when you have weddings, you have a bride and groom that's staying the night. So a lot of times their family members like to decorate the room for them before they arrive for the evening. Generally, that means that you're cleaning up fresh flower petals from every area of the room. What's the most expensive room I have? So we actually have one room here that's called the King Executive Suite. It used to be, I believe we called it the King Executive Suite, but it used to be our hot tub suite. Now hotels are generally getting away from the hot tubs in the rooms. So at our recent renovation, they did get rid of that. However, it's still our King Executive Suite, and it generally is just shy of $200 before tax per night. So this room is a king room that kind of has an extra living area attached. So it's almost like you have a full living area as well as bedroom and bathroom. So that one's generally between $179 and $210 per night. Our typical rooms are anywhere from $125 to $145, depending on the night. Oddly enough, our Monday nights are actually our busiest night. What is my favorite part of my job? That's a hard one. I enjoy a lot of the aspects of my job. I would say my favorite part of my job is being able to give my team members, so my employees, the tools that they need in order to develop their skills. So the way I see it as a manager is if my team is able to do really well, that means that I'm doing well. So I like to make sure that I'm on top of what my team needs are, the things that they think are important, and making sure that we can meet those needs in order to help them be good at their job. That's definitely my favorite. How old do you have to be to work here? So we actually are able to start at 14. So up front at the front desk, we do have to go with 16 just because of the credit card security. However, at 14, you're able to work in housekeeping, which is exactly where I started. So this here is the one that we typically have in our guest rooms. So we take the bath mat and actually fold it inside out so you can flip it over. And then by taking your washcloth and just fan folding it back and forth, you can pinch it in the middle and it just sticks out that way. It gives you the perfect spot to put your little soaps. Now, I will admit my executive housekeeper is much better at the swan fold than I. I just have the fan. Ooh, that's a very creative one. Some origami folds. Oh, a swan. Yes, we like to do that when we have a wedding group coming in. We'll set the bride and groom up with a swan. Ah, nice little boat with pocket. Ah, perfect. That was so close. Ah, fun. That one almost looks like a crown. And thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day.